Hi, folks. Welcome to another episode of Tinnitist TV. Today, I am talking to Graham Brown. He is a man who does not waste time. This veteran Vancouver roots rock singer-guitarist records most of his albums, including his latest release, Outside Within, live in the studio in a single afternoon. Sometimes those albums include songs he wrote on the way to the session and taught to his bandmates minutes before they were put down on tape. And if they don't like one of his songs, he just throws it away and writes a new one. That no-nonsense approach has served him well for decades, from his beginnings with Edmonton's Junior Gone Wild to his major label days with Brilliant Orange and his time with Happyman. With Outside Within available now, and Brown already looking forward to his next album, he zoomed in from the band's rehearsal space to talk about playing for Bob Dylan, getting career advice from Barbra Streisand, sneaking into Neil Young's studio, wowing them at the Cavern Club, and plenty more. Enjoy. Well, it's a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Brown.
Yeah, thanks. You too, Daryl. Thank you.
So how are you doing today?
Good. I'm just in our rehearsal studio place, just working on songs, writing them like 20, not all today, but I've worked about 25, 27 new songs for the next record, actually.
Wow,
It's
you just
super.
don't stop, do you?
No, I don't. I, I, I know what it's funny because I kind of remember the last record song, so it's I just go with it. You know, I mean, when it comes, it comes. I was thinking about today. Uh, Somebody else asked me like, what do you, you write a lot of songs. Do you sit down and, I'm going to write a song today. It's like, I tried that once. I maybe when I was a teenager or something, but I write songs when I get inspired. I never sit down and go, I'm going to write a song because it doesn't, for me, it doesn't work.
Right, it has to come in on the antenna.
Yes, right. Yeah, it's got
Yeah.
come and land. Oh, there it is. Thank you.
But it seems like they come and land pretty good for you. If you were efficient, you'd never go hungry.
Yes, I'm pretty fortunate that way. I've never had writer's block, not
Oh,
yet.
excellent. Well, before you get too far ahead of this album already, let's talk a bit about your new one, Outside Within.
Yeah.
Um, it's either I can't quite figure it out because I think your press release says it's your 14th, but then when I looked on your website, it looks like it's your 13th, and then I saw something else that made it seem like it was your 15th. Do you even know which number it is in the catalog at this point?
Well, actually, it is 15,
15. Okay.
but the ones on the web page, the ones I own the rights to. I did a couple of
Oh,
major album releases that I don't own the publishing to, so I those
okay.
songs are gone for me.
But still, 15 albums, even 13 albums. That's a body of work. That's a
It,
legacy. That's a catalog, you know?
it's shocking to me, actually. I can't believe it myself sometimes.
I was going to ask, when you were first starting out, did you think, well, someday I'll be making my 15th album?
No, no, no. We all thought we'd be dead by 30, didn't we? But no, my parents are both musicians. We had a house full of music, my brother and my sister, everybody. So music was just around everywhere. When I finally told my parents, like, I'm going to do this music thing, and everybody else in the family did as well, but they all sort of gave up and got real jobs and stuff. And I was the only one who wasn't smart enough. But
Well, were your parents professional musicians or just musicians
I,
out around the
yes,
house kind of thing?
they were professionals until
Oh,
the kids came along
oh,
back in
wow.
back in Scotland, in Glasgow.
Oh,
My dad
cool.
was a trumpet
So
player.
they must have been were they encouraging when you said this is what you wanted to do, or did they go, no, 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 no?
No, they were very encouraging. They're just like, and they said it's hard. It's
Yeah.
hard. There's lots of ups and downs and heartbreak and all, the usual stuff parents should say about anything. And it's like, yeah, it's very together teenagers. Like, yeah, okay, whatever. I'm still swinging. So
Yeah,
it's,
well, no kidding. I mean, for you to rebel, you would have had to become like an accountant or something.
oh God, yeah, that'd be tough. I mean, I don't know how people. I'm glad people do it. I don't know how people can sit and work in an office. I I I I have
No,
I
yeah.
moved my office out to the van or something. Get a camper or something.
Drive around on tour in your office.
Yeah, I can't. It's not for me.
hmm
Um,
hmm But
so
still, so 15 albums. I mean, do you remember all the songs on your 15 albums? If I woke you up out of a sound sleep and threw a title at you, would you be able to, pick up your Telecaster and play it?
yeah,
Or is a lot of it a blur? No, you remember it?
it's funny because a friend of mine that lives in LA now called me. I was wanting to come up here and do some shows for old Brilliant Orange band, like from 1984 or something like that, 83, 84. And let's do a little reunion. I'm like, yeah, what do I want to do that for? I'm going that way.
Right.
I'm not going looking back. Because I said, well, if you want to come up and rent a space and we'll just have a jam and have a couple of beers and have a good laugh. And let's see how it goes from there. I'm not sure if these other guys are still playing or not that were in the band. And I'm like, but I thought about those songs. And I was like, thought about it in my head. And went, I remember, I remember all the chord progressions. Well, I wrote 99% of them, and I remember all the words, which is
Wow.
bizarre. It's just like as long as you get the first line, it just kind
Uh-huh.
of falls out.
Is your memory that good for everything else in your life?
Yeah, my memory's pretty good. I remember phone numbers from you know, 60 years ago.
Well, okay. I'll give you points. I mean, no senior moments yet. Good for you.
Bank account numbers, PIN numbers. Nowadays, so many passwords and everything's like,
All
it,
right.
I got
All
it.
right. Well, and in keeping with the guy who's doing this, I would suspect that if I asked you which is your favorite of all your albums, you would say this one.
Sure. But no, no, and all honesty, I'm already on the next one.
Right.
I know this record just came out, and I'm very proud of it. I think some really good songs on there, and the band played really well. And my
Yeah.
band is wonderful. The guys in the band are, well, we've been friends for a long, long time and played together a long time. I can just raise an eyebrow and they know what that means. We
Right.
do
And
hand
uh,
signals.
one of the things that struck me about about the album, is that you recorded, if this is not a slightly tall tale, it says that you recorded most of it in a single afternoon.
Yeah, that's how we do all our records.
That to me is just
Is it?
remarkable.
I guess so. That's what people tell me. I just like, the Beatles, all those guys, they used to go in and do like two records in a week or something. So no, I'm an old school guy. I go in. We're prepared when we go in there. We're prepared. We've been
hmm
in our little studio here. We tracked everything. I ran through the songs. I know all the parts. Even when I write these songs, I hear the whole arrangement in my head. Where the drums come in, I hear the harmony parts. I hear everything, the arrangements. So I
Wow.
bring the songs to the band. The arrangement is done, and guys just, I don't even tell them, hey, here's a new song. I just start playing, and they're like, oh, and then we run through it, and then I ask the first question is, do you guys want to pursue this song? Because maybe they don't like it,
Mhm.
and they're always like, oh yeah, 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 or it doesn't really do it for me. I'm like, great, don't forget about that one. Here's another one. So and
You are
those,
you are not precious about any part of this process, it seems.
well, I put my heart and soul into it. Definitely, I'm precious that way, but
Uh-huh.
art is an art form that should have rubber edges to it.
hmm
That's how I look at it. I mean, I kind of fall into that roots rock thing, but if you listen
hmm
to all my albums, there's lots of different stuff on there that's not necessarily that kind of thing.
Right,
And
right.
the solo
But
record I put out is the same thing. I mean, they're all kind of folky songs that the band didn't really want to do. So I just went, okay, well, don't worry about it. I'll do my own thing, which is fine.
so I mean, when you say you recorded it all in a day, does that include vocals and solos and everything?
The setup, yeah. So basically, we went into the last 10, 12 albums have been this way. We go into like a larger room. Uh, Everything, we go in the morning, 10 in the morning or so, everything's mic'd up. and maybe by 2 in the afternoon, we're starting to actually track. We've got the sounds. Yeah, so we lay down bass, drums, bass guitar, electric rhythm guitar, a lead vocal, and either another rhythm guitar or piano or organ, whatever it is. Just lay it all down, and then I used to play my solos at the same time, like just like a live performance.
Right.
But I found lately it's like, you know what? Let me just get the rhythm. We're gonna nail it, unless it's like a really ripping sort of in your face wah wah screaming shit happen. I want to be moving with the band,
Right.
and we all have eye contact, and we're all within 10 feet of each other. And I got a little, it's a little. I don't like being in a booth to sing, and
Mm.
all the engineers hate that, but I don't really give a shit. I don't want that. I
Right.
get a little screen, a little clear screen in front of me, and you can hear some bleeding from the drums and stuff into my vocal track.
That's
But
rock and roll.
but
Yeah.
yeah, and once everything's on, you don't really notice it. And a lot of this record and a lot of the records, the lead vocal track is the live track.
Mm.
Even one before that we did in Edmonton, in a 5 hour afternoon, we laid down everything.
Wow.
Yeah, like I said, everything. And then I came back later, or Rob and my other guitar player, him and I came back and added harmonies later,
Right.
because it was just too small a room to and didn't have enough gear. And basically I'm talking about the record in Edmonton, the Spirit and Soul. The headphones were really awful, but we're a well rehearsed and well traveled band, so like I don't even really need to hear.
But I mean, what if you took like, oh, I don't know, some crazy amount of time, like 3 days to make a record? What could you do with that? You could have like a double concept album or something.
Well, High Watt is a double album. It's
Hmm.
There's 18 or 20 songs on there, and I actually recorded 27 for that record, and that's the
All
same.
in a day?
Yeah, all the beds in a day, and then I came back. Usually, what like in this record, like we did all the beds in a day and the lead vocal tracks, and I came in on the Sunday, just add some acoustic guitar on some songs and some shakers, and I redid a couple of guitar solos.
And is this just because of the fact that you like you said, you have it all in your head, so there's no need to screw around or experiment or jam or do anything else but get it out of your head and onto the tape or into the box.
Uh, Partly, I mean, we've all that experimenting and stuff. We've done it at our own little home studio where I'm at right
Right.
now, and I love to sit in there for weeks, and because I get really turned on. I'm in there. I mean, every record, at least 2 songs in the album, usually ones I wrote while I was sitting in there recording. Down the tracks is on this record. Um, I kind of I drove across some railway tracks on the way to the studio, and I started thinking about how we used to hop on the trains. Yeah, I grew up in St. Albert, Alberta, and we'd hop on the
Mm.
trains from the West End and drive and take them into the West End of the city of Edmonton, hop off, and I started thinking about, yeah, that was fun jumping off the trestle and onto the train, the tracks, and this whole song just came in my head, and it's like picked up my guitar and said, "Hey, give me a," figured it out. Said, "Okay, it goes like this." Show it to the guys, and get 2 takes. And the second take is on the record.
That's just I mean, that is where having this band that you've got really comes in handy, is crucial, I would think, to being
Oh,
able to do
absolutely.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You know, I, I've jammed with lots of people through the years, and lots of people, are absolutely fantastic.
Hmm.
But I don't want to have to tell somebody what to play.
Hmm.
You know, Let's say if I have a really particular bass line I want to hear, or something like rarely, because John is such a fluid and whistle great bass player. Like I don't have to tell him anything. All I tell
Right.
all the guys in the band is what not to play.
Mm.
Just like a little less of that. I love that. Just a little less. Just because even me, we all overplay
Sure.
and still do it. And I'm still smacking myself later and going, I should just let that chord ring. Like, why'd I hit it again? I shouldn't have.
And you say you've kind of always recorded this way, like right from the first album?
Yeah, pretty much.
I
Yeah,
mean, that's really a unique approach to it. I mean, because again, I'm not to say that you should be Axl Rose and sitting in there, for 6 months trying to perfect a bass drum sound or something, but you're sort of ultra pared down, minimalist, fast, go in, have it already, get it done. It's not really the way
I,
most people work. Where do you think that comes from in your
well,
makeup?
there's a couple of reasons for that, Gerald. I mean, it's partly because I can't afford to go in there for a week or 2 weeks at a time. I can't
Mm,
afford it. Suppose that. Uh, I've already experimented, like I said earlier, tried it, you know,
right.
the jazz chords over top of it, whatever, just saying, oh, can I take it over here? It's like, you know what? The song is the king, the song is the boss, the song is taking me right down that road.
Mm,
So that's where I have to go. And if it means my guitar track sucks or doesn't work, get rid of it. There's
mm,
no guitar track in this. Let the other guy play guitar. Like
mhm.
whatever is best for the song. I mean, there's things I on this record, even we lay stuff down, like, yep, pull the drums out here. We're not gonna have any drums here. Yeah, bring it back in over here. You got to have a flow, and arrangement is everything, and that's what I
Mhm.
really enjoy. Actually, I would love to sit down and record, produce other artists. That'd be wonderful. I've tried. I've asked a few people, offered,
Uh-huh.
hey man, I'll come. Oh, your record sounds great. I go, what? Yeah, I got some connections. We can make a decent record for not a lot of money, but it's never happened yet. So it's okay. I'll just keep doing my own.
That's
Keeps
right.
me keeps me busy.
So are most I mean, I'm guessing most of these songs are fairly new since you seem to just kind of be able to produce them at a moment's notice.
Uh, yeah, well, it's funny you say it because in the last 4 or 5 live performances, a lot of people around Vancouver, know who we are
Sure.
and come see us quite often. And they're always like, "Yeah, Graham, you write a lot of songs. You're probably writing one right now." And I was just like, "Do you want me to write a song right now?" And this a friend of ours, just like, "Yeah, write a song right now." And I go, "Okay, what key do you want?" And they're like, and I'm like, yeah, "How about A? A for Canada, key of A." So I just started, yeah. So I just started playing this thing, and it had a bit of a Birds feel to it, and I just made some. And Robin, my piano player, and I also do an acoustic duo thing,
Hmm.
and it was during one of those duo sessions, and just and then some he goes like, put a bridge in there, and like, okay, so I went to an F sharp minor, to a B minor, to an E, to a D, turn around back to the A, to the root, and it's just like, and then Rob looks at me like, that's good. So that is the song now. That is, and I did the same thing last weekend when I was playing out in the Okanagan, doing a solo acoustic show. I did two 1 hour sets, just sort of off the top of my head. And, it was
Has
fun.
anybody ever tried to sign you to like a publishing contract? Because I would think that you said you can't necessarily sit down and say I'm going to write a song, but they seem to
Well, I
come to you.
could.
Okay, well, but and they seem to come to you so fast that it would seem like if you sat in a room for a month and just did nothing but write songs, you would have enough to sell songs to everybody on the planet.
Uh, yeah, but they have to be good.
Do you write a lot of bad songs?
No, not really. But I've every so often I go through my song book of like 500 songs, and I'll go through them and I'll go, that's a piece of shit, and I'll rip it out. It's gone. Just
In general, do you think your stuff ages well? I mean, do you ever go back and listen to your early albums and with a critical ear and kind of go, "Oh, that's better than I thought it was," or "Oh, I wish I hadn't
yes,
recorded that," or
actually, I just rebuilt. Well, I have some. Actually, I hired someone to rebuild my whole website
Mhm.
and put all the albums on there. So I actually went back and listened to all those early albums from the early '80s and stuff, and just went. I was surprised. Like the recordings, but like, oh, that's a pretty good song. There's some good lyrics on that song. Wow. Where'd that come from? Yeah, I was surprised. Yeah, so yes, I think I hold the time's not a problem. I think it'll still be a good song. A good song's a good song, whether it's,
Yeah.
or the Beatles done lately. Not much, but they don't have
Yeah,
to.
they held up. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. A good
So I
song.
mean, do you, you know, do you, is it always just like new material, new material, new material? I mean, are you, if you're playing, you know, if you've got gigs coming up, are you going to be playing songs from outside within, or is it going to be pretty much all new stuff, or what?
No, that's a new record, so we'll be playing
Hmm.
pretty much most songs that well, we like around here. And we're on the road. We're doing three sets, 3:45s a night, kind of deal. So I'll grab songs off just about every record,
Oh, okay.
and plus the a bunch of new ones and some brand new ones that no one's even heard yet, or
Hmm.
sometimes the band hasn't even heard yet, and they just follow along. Yeah. So
They are patient guys.
uh, well, yeah, yeah. Well, and I keep challenging them, trying to write. I'm trying to write a better song every time, and trying to improve my skills, and
Uh-huh.
trying to keep it interesting so they don't get bored. Nothing worse
Right.
than going to see a band and they're playing the same set you saw a week ago, same jokes, same. It's like, oh my god.
Yeah. Do you when you're up there, like for instance, if you're playing some of the songs off outside within at a show, are you liable to do like a Dylan and go, okay, we're gonna do this one, but we're gonna do it in F sharp minor and it's a polka now, you know?
Sure, my guys can follow along with anything.
But
On
do you throw those kind of audibles at them?
I do in the studio when we're
Uh,
recording. I'll show them a song in the key of E or something and go. They're like, oh, you got it. They go, yeah, okay, good. We're gonna do an E flat.
uh-huh.
I knew all along I was gonna do an E flat, but I showed too many. So when they go to E flat, all of a sudden they haven't got a chance to get too fancy. They're just
Uh-huh.
hanging by their shorts. So I do that quite often.
So it's no accident you're wearing a Dylan shirt then.
Oh yeah, sure, yeah. No, Bobby. I've seen, I've seen him probably 40 times.
Okay.
Yeah, he even came to one of our shows down in LA where we were playing with, sadly, with uh, Jeff At, no, what's his name? Great guitar player from Toronto. He just passed away blind. Jeff Healy.
Healy.
Yeah, we were opening for Jeff Healy at the Lingerie Club on Santa Monica Boulevard, and
Right.
uh, and Dylan came because Jeff, their first album, they were covering a Dylan song, Angel Eyes.
Hmm.
So Dylan was there to check out this guitar whiz, and there's some opening band before us. So we were in the middle, and the guy's like, "Hey, they weren't my cup of tea." And he goes, "Hey, I'm the drummer from the opening band." I went, "Nice to meet you." He goes, "I'm Johnny Toronto," and I'm like, "Okay, nice to
Okay.
meet you, Johnny Toronto." So Dylan's in the corner by himself. He's got a hoodie on, and he's waiting. So he's seen our set, which is really cool. And I heard word later. I got a little note from our management. It was like, Dylan loved your songs. I was like, well, that's really wow.
Yeah.
Uh, but so this guy from Join Toronto goes over and starts harassing Dylan. And I'm like, leave him alone. No, he's my hero, but I don't know what to say to the guy. What do you say to Bob Dylan?
Yeah, nothing.
So I say, just leave him alone. He wants to be left alone. Guy goes over there and blah, blah. And he puts out his hand and Dylan just got his hands crossed.
Yeah.
Comes back and I go, well, what do you say? I said, what'd you say to him? And he goes, well, I told him that I'm Johnny Toronto. I was the opening band. And Dylan basically said, that's good. Why don't you fuck off now? And the kid's all mad. I'm like, well, what do you want him to say? He said, Bob
Yeah,
Dylan, for Christ's sake.
yeah,
So and
exactly.
then he left. He didn't even get a chance to see Jeff Healy.
It's all Johnny Toronto's fault.
Yeah, it was. It was.
So
Uh,
did you know Dylan was out there when you were playing?
no, I didn't. I came
Okay.
off
Oh,
and I
okay.
looked and being a Dylan
Yeah.
aficionado, I'm like, holy Christ. I wanted to go over and say something, but it's like,
Sure.
what am I going to say? Hey, I really like your music, man. Like, what?
Yeah, no, there's nothing you can say to him that he hasn't heard from, you know, a
Yeah,
thousand
like
times.
I don't want to bother the guy. I mean, even we
No.
were rehearsing in SR Studios in Hollywood, and Neil Young was one door down, and I was trying to get in there. I'm thinking, what if I just walk in there, pick up a guitar, and start playing, and either we can jam or they'll throw me out.
Yeah.
But I couldn't get. It's just like I got the nerve up, I got in, and then but security grabbed me before I could get any farther. And like, I was really looking forward to it.
Well, at least you tried. Yeah, and I don't know. I think it'd be pretty intimidating to play in front of Bob Dylan. If you
Yeah,
knew, obviously you didn't know, but had you
yeah,
known, you know.
yeah. No, no, what? That wouldn't have bothered me at all.
No?
No, I would have got, I would have been jazzed about that. Yeah, give me, we did a couple of outdoor concerts here, with like 10,000 people. It's like the more the merrier. Like let's. The other guitar player was too scared. It's like I can't sing. I'm like, I'll take care of it. Don't worry about it. It's like
Yeah, exactly.
don't worry about it.
So,
But
is Dylan kind of your gold standard as a
yes,
songwriter?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That Neil, and Tom Petty. Steve Earle's another really great song. There's so many good songwriters out there. I'm just trying to write the best song I can, Daryl. And I try to deliver it in a way. I like to get the emotion across.
Hmm.
More, so I want to. It's not a. Oh, I'm going to put my emotion today. So like, I want to get into the song and know the song so well that I'm not even there. Like when we
Hmm.
play live, I don't want to do any thinking at all. I just want to be playing. I'll be in that song and feel like I'm in the biggest set of headphones in the world. And I'm always trying to hit that. Like when I play solos live, the records, they're first take, second take. I don't sit and figure something out. I just roll the tape. I'll feel something,
Mm-hmm.
and I just wing it.
I wanted to ask you about your guitar playing because you are an excellent guitarist, which a lot of singer-songwriters aren't necessarily. You know, the primary focus is the songwriting or maybe the singing or the lyrics or whatever. But you've got that other sort of arrow in your quiver.
Well, thank you.
Um, is that who do you look up to as a guitarist? Who are you sort of,
Well, I mean, I
making
grew
with?
up obviously grew up listening to Hendrix and stuff like that. When I was 14, I mean, I worked a summer job just so I could buy myself a wah wah pedal. And I mean, I heard "Rainy Day Dream Away," and I just melted. I just like, oh my God, I want to learn how to do that.
Mm,
And so I started putting bands together from grade 6 onward.
wow.
And in my same school was Mo Berg from Pursuit of Happiness.
Yeah, yeah, I know Mo. Yeah,
Yeah, Mo was a year older than I was.
right.
And yeah, so we both have our bands and play on the talent night circuit at school. But yeah, it was good. But the guitar players, I mean, I have Roy Buchanan. I love Roy Buchanan. Jeff
Mm,
Beck. I mean, how can you not? That's not necessarily the kind
exactly.
of stuff I do. I just consider myself a bit of a folk singer that bashes the electric guitar a little bit. I don't think of myself that much of a guitar player, but some
Well,
people say
you're
I'm
you're you're
saying,
doing a pretty good impression of a good guitar player. I'll
okay,
I'll,
well
I'll
there you
give you
go, there you go.
that.
It's all in all in the delivery.
Do you I mean do you play every day? Do you sing every day? Are you writing every day? Is it that kind of a
Uh,
thing for you, or does it kind of go in, when you need to do something, you're doing it?
no, oh no, I'm picking it up every day, or if
Hmm.
not
Hmm.
every day, if there's something I have to do or travel somewhere or do something, but if it's not there, I mean, it's in my head.
Right.
But many a, I have a pad by my bed that I wake up in the middle of the night with songs in my head and like scribble, 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 and then when morning wake up and go, what?
What?
Am I writing prescriptions or something? But yeah, and
Well, and speaking of traveling, you were just over in England, right?
a little while ago, yeah,
Yeah, like April, I think.
did April? Yeah, I guess so.
I think so.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
how was that?
we
How
like
was
it there.
that? Yeah.
Fan-
You've been there before? Do you have kind of a following there?
Uh, well, actually, we sell most of our records
Really?
uh, digitally, and most people are buying digital stuff, and it's not really. But Europeans still like to buy their CDs and stuff, and
Right.
I bring CDs because I albums just it's too much to carry,
Sure.
and it's quite expensive to press those. And the fact that most people are buying digital kind of makes it easier for me. But no, the UK was wonderful. We had a pretty magical show in the Cavern. Um, it's like 2 or 3 encores, and then we
Nice.
Lennon's Pub across the street the next day. We had an afternoon show, and every show the band always puts on a good show. We always play well, and the management over there, record distributors, like, do you guys ever have a bad show? And I'm like, why the hell would I do that? No, I said, no, we've never had a bad show. We've had shows where we didn't climb the top of the mountain, but we were still pretty damn good. It's like, no. So anyway, we did the afternoon show at Lennon's Pub, and we're packing up, and it's like, leave your gear here. You're playing tonight. Like, oh, but I have to be in Birmingham by tomorrow. No, you'll be up. We'll get you a bus to get there. It's like, okay. So yeah, I was ended up playing there in the day. Then they invited us to stay, play the night, and then we were next day. It wasn't Birmingham. It was. Then it was London. Some downstairs club, some pretty famous club, and I had to sleep in like 36 hours, and we did a live BBC
Right.
recording session, like with a live studio audience at that in between those. So it was like it's pretty busy 3 or 4 days, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Ironically, I was in Liverpool like 2 days before you played there.
Oh, that's funny. Funny. Yeah,
Yes.
it's a great time. Yeah, it was.
Excellent.
We're trying to get back there right now. I'm trying to work on. You need a decent agent there now.
Mm.
Now, and it's a little bit different than the last time we were there. And now it's like, okay, you need to go through the agency. And so I'm trying to see who I can get. Like as you mentioned about publishers, I've tried to be in contact with music supervisors, publishers, my whole career. I can't get anybody to open the door to me ever. This is like, even the local radio here, I give them every album we do, and they're like, local FM stations, oh, great record. We're not going to play it. Like, of course you're not. Like,
It's gotta be frustrating though. You've been doing,
yeah, it is. It is
yeah.
frustrating. Yeah, I can't let it bother me or stop me from what I'm doing. I had a bit of a discussion with the music director. I went, well, what do? You like the record, but you won't play it. I go, well, I know there's 2 people that basically program all the FS stations across the country.
Right.
So what is it? What are you doing then? You're just a mouthpiece. What do you? No, he's not playing my record, so I might as well be honest with him.
Yeah. What do you got to lose, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I thought, oh, maybe he'll think I'm a prick and he'll pay my just for that cause. Anyways, uh, he had no answer. He's like, you music director for what? And sadly, DJs, that Tom Petty said, DJ's dead.
Oh
Guys,
yeah. Well, I mean, you and I are, I think, around the same age, so we're old enough to remember FM radio in the 70s when it was kind of free form and you could,
yeah,
that's where I discovered a lot of music and I'm sure you
yeah,
did too.
yeah. And even into the 80s. I mean,
Hmm.
my old band was on the radio all the time, everywhere. Our records are on over in the UK getting played, but not here. I mean, CBC doesn't play our stuff. It's like, you gotta go, oh, okay. So you try, you give them the stuff. Here's the stuff. Here's what we do. We're a pro band. I don't want to whine about it. But it's not going to bother me. It's unfortunate. They play the same 6, 7 Canadian bands over and over and over again, and they're good songs. They're good for them, but it's not so good for me. But
Yeah,
that's
no
like,
kidding.
but
So how have your goals and your priorities changed over this time, or have they? Are you still just kind of the same guy you were 30 years ago when you started doing this?
well, a hell of a lot smarter, obviously.
Hmm.
Uh,
Not all
yeah,
musicians are.
yeah. No, they're not. Some of my old bandmates are dead. Yeah. Um, I'm still a hardworking guy. I have an idea. I work hard at it. No one can ever say I'm lazy.
Mm.
So it's like it's a passion for me. I'm a songwriter. I don't understand. I got friends that have like, oh, I quit. I don't write anymore. Like, I can't. That's what I do.
Mm,
You know, whether I'm making a good living at it or not, I'm still going to be doing it.
right.
I just, that's what I do. And, you know, I've, you know, as an independent guy, you know, I think I've sold like 50,000 records or something. So it's not bad for a guy, you know, selling them out of his trunk.
Hmm.
So I'm not, I'm going to keep, I'm going to keep making records while I'm alive and above ground and want to, and it's still fun. So
Do you have any goals other than artistic ones?
uh, wait a second, I got a little something. Oh, low battery mode, 20%.
Huh?
So I'd had low battery mode there. Um,
I get, because I mean, obviously, you spend your time, you work hard at your craft, you're
yeah,
obviously want to get better at your craft. That's
yeah,
a noble goal and the one you should
yeah,
have. Do you, given what we've been talking about the
yeah.
frustrations of all the commercial side of things, have you given up on that sort of pursuit of those kinds of goals and just gone, well, screw that. I'm just going to do what I do. And if somebody, wants to play it or buy it or,
Yeah. Well, I've had that mindset since 1986, wherever we got dropped by Geffen after I lost the Geffen deal. I walked
right.
away from that record deal. You know, it was 2 or 3 albums, and halfway through the recording, I'm like, this is shit. They're ruining my songs, and they threatened to sue me because I was a singer and the band leader and everything. I was like, I'm out of here.
Mm.
I grabbed my gear, went back to Vancouver. The rest of the band followed at some point. Uh, by the time, you know, 3 weeks later, they came back. I already had another band. I already wrote another. I've already had a couple of sets worth of new material. You know, it's
Man, I
like,
would not, if I was in your band, I wouldn't be late for practice because.
oh no, it's never like that. I'm very kind to my band. You know, but that point during the we were recording the major record deal, the first album, and there was shit happening, and you know, producer blowing a bunch of coke and stuff, and it's like, what the fuck is this shit? And then bringing in his friends to play guitar parts or sing some background vocals is like, we can, I can do that. Wait, this is my song, and there's tons of reverb. It's just like it drove me nuts, and that's, you know, at some point, I'm sitting outside North Compton Studios in the same room that Van Halen did their big hit record, and I'm sitting there and I look up and there's a beautiful full moon shining down, and Barbra Streisand and Don Johnson are walking in. I guess I must look pretty down, and I was thinking, God, I got here, I have to walk away from all this shit. I can't do this shit.
Mhm.
And Barbra Streisand like, are you okay, son? I'm like, yeah, my record company's just fucking me over. She goes, move on, get another one. It's like, yeah, yeah. Anyways, so
Thanks, Babs.
I packed up the gear and shortly before that, like I was writing 90% of the songs, and the other guy
Sorry, which band was this with?
that was Brilliant Orange,
Oh, okay.
and still a great bunch of guys. I wish them all the best.
Mhm.
Um, and then and then the management wanted me to give a bunch of my songwriting royalties, split the royalties with the guys in the band. I said, you know, I'm like, well, I wrote all these songs before I even met these guys. It's my song.
Mhm.
And anyways, I finally caved, uh, and I thought, well, fuck that. Okay, so and even back then I was writing lots of songs. So a year goes past, and we're on the road through the states and stuff. And the management, first of all, the manager came to me a year earlier and like, well, you know, I said, I write these songs, like not the band. And manager told me, no, Graham, you write the words. The band writes the songs. I went, oh, really? Okay. So I'm writing hundreds of songs. I stopped bringing them to the band. And a year goes by, and the management, we had a big meeting, and management and marketing people are like, well, you haven't brought any new songs to the band. I go, hey, I don't write songs. I just write words. And the looks that they're throwing daggers at me. And then shortly, like a week later, I'm just like, I'm so out of here. So I came back home and I went to the law library. I studied on entertainment law a bit. I realized the record deal I signed was absolutely horrible,
Hmm.
and they took all my publishing, and I was a fool. Even though my lawyer told it was a good deal, it wasn't. So I started my own record label, and the last 15, 14 albums that are on my website are all on my own record label.
Hmm.
So every time I sell one for $10, I get $10.
Yeah.
So
It sounds like you wouldn't even want to be associated with that part of the business now anyway, right?
no, I love to. No, they have the machine going. Be nice to get in there. It'd be nice to have someone in a bus drive me around, take me to where I need to play, get out, get washed, have a nice hotel, go
Sure.
someplace. I wish I had that,
But
but
it's all recoupable, right? So,
worst it was $5 for a staple on my contract they sent me. Charged me $5 for the staple.
exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like
But
going to the hospital in the States, right?
oh yeah,
$100 aspirins and,
yeah. But I don't
So,
want to whine. I don't want to whine about stuff. It was just a learning experience.
yeah.
I think about it, and it made me who I am today. And to answer, I guess and go back to answer your question, do I still have aspiration for those things? Like I said, since '85, all I wanted to do was be able to be a working musician and be able to pay my rent or your mortgage, whatever you have, and have a few guitars and some. All my stuff is old and vintage, just because it works great, sounds great. I don't need anything new.
Yeah, why would you? Yeah.
Yeah, and this guy always comes to our shows. Don't you have any new guitars? It's like, yeah, okay. I already. It's some guy named Al. I already know who he is. But
And also, who nobody has new. I mean, it's like you go see anybody, go see Dylan. He's not playing
yeah,
a new Stratocaster, you
no, no,
know.
of course not, because they're all garbage.
Yeah, go look at Neil Young. He's got the old Les Paul, the old White Falcon. You've got what? I've seen you with like three different Telecasters. I don't know how many you might have.
I got three. I got that one. I got this
Yeah, the
one,
sunburst. There's a sunburst and a blonde one and a black one.
black one. The black one is sort of my main one. I've had that 40 since 1970, since 1975, I think.
Hmm. Have you read Rick Emmett's book? He wrote a whole book about he had a custom Telecaster made, and it's
Oh,
kind of about making this guitar and the album he made with it, but it's also kind of a love letter to the Telecaster.
oh, really? I know. I'll pick it up.
Yeah, it's very interesting. And what I mean, you're obviously a Telecaster guy. What is it about the Telecaster?
Well, you can hammer nails with these things and they stay in tune.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it's just not. I tried a Strat for a while, but because the volume knob is right here,
Right.
every time I kept turning myself off, and I rent one, and then I bore one off my other guitar player for a while. I went, you know what? I'm a Tele guy. Jesus, I've been playing Teles for like 50 years. Why am I trying something different? I
Hmm.
just felt uncomfortable.
Yeah, and you're in
And
good company. I mean, Jimmy
I love,
Page, Roy
yeah,
Buchanan, I mean,
yeah, yeah. Townsend,
Townsend. Yeah.
it covers. I played through a high watt,
Hmm.
an old high watt amp I've had for forever, since late 1979 or 1980 or something. But yeah, it's that, I got a nice Fender Tweed as well, and a little small Fender 50s something Tweed. But when you hook them all up together, when we played the Commodore last time, it was godlike. We hit the AP box, I put them I mixed them together, just like, oh my God, it was just the headlining band it was the Roadhammers. They came flying out onto the stage sound check to go, what the fuck is that? And I'm just like, oh, that's good. And they're like, whoa. Like the tones, I can't even explain how to. Oh, looks like my battery's starting to fade.
All right, brother. Well, I will let you go because I've taken up enough of your time,
No,
but this has been a lot of
yeah.
fun.
No, yeah, nice
And
to, thank
yeah.
you for your time.
Oh, my pleasure. And I look forward to the next 15 albums, which I'm guessing will be coming in rapid succession.
Well, there will be another one pretty soon,
All
because
right.
I'm going to get in right away and track all these 20 odd new songs I have. Kind of pumped about it.
Excellent.
But yeah, well, thank you. And
Well,
spread the word. I appreciate it.
All right, my pleasure, man. Have a good rest of
Okay,
your evening.
you too. Take care, man.
Okay, bye.
Yeah, bye bye.